Hello everyone, it's Lydia. So today I received a request by Melissa Sherman. Hi Melissa, to show how I created my altered Tim Holtz clip that I clipped onto my little journal here that I created, and this is the one she was referring to. Some of you may already know how to make these, but for those of you who are new, this can all be very confusing. So here's the Tim Holtz little clip. You don't necessarily need a Tim Holtz one. You can find little binder clips over at Walmart, if you have a Walmart near you or your office supply shop. And then this is what the rest of the little dangle looks like. I have a garment pin, some seam binding, a rose charm, a pearl charm, and then I have these two little beads here on a chain. And that's what I used to create my dangle. You can use any beads, any colors that you want to play with. So you're going to need some basic tools, and I'm going to see if I could find the two videos that I watched that were like super helpful when I had no clue where to begin. She goes into into everything. So if I can find it, I'll link it down in the description box. But you are going to need some basic tools. You're going to need your wire cutters. And if you have a hubby, he may have one of these that you can borrow. And you're going to need a pair of needle nose pliers, and they look like this. That's what they look like. And you can find these over at Walmart or your local craft store. Just look in the beading aisle where they have like all the jewelry supplies and stuff. You should find these. And then you can't pass up on this one. You have to have this one. So this one is like the needle nose, but they're cone shaped at the tip. And you're going to need this when you're forming your rings. And it looks just like a cone. It starts out like thin here, and then it widens as it gets down to the bottom. So those are the tools, and then you're going to need your beads. And I think I purchased this box either at Hobby Lobby or Michael's, and I really like it. I like to store my beads in color by color, and then in the center here there was a larger compartment, and this is where I added my some of my findings. So you're going to need some of these wires, and they have these little circles on top. They have these, and I'm going to need one, so I'm going to leave one out. And you can get your O-rings. They come in many sizes, and these are oval ones. I'm going to be using the round ones. Here I have more O-rings, and then you have these pins over here with the little flat tops. They look like that. And what else do I have in here? That's about it. And then I have some larger O-rings. So you're going to need some beads, and I'm going to be using another little Tim Holtz clip. And Marla H sent me some really cute charms. So I'm going to use this crown with a little purple bling on it, and also this cute little oval shaped bead. I'm going to use that. And then on this dangle I also have two beads, so I'm just going to select two beads from the little purple section here. I'm just going to use these two, and I think that's it. I think I'm ready. So the next thing you're going to need for your clip is something to dangle off of the clip, and on this one here I used a garment pin. And I get these on eBay. They come from China. You have to have patience. It takes about maybe a week or 2 weeks for you to get your goodies, but I just make sure when I'm running out I order them. So you can use a garment pin, or you could use, these are super inexpensive and you can find these at Walmart, a lanyard hook. Just hook it on there. Or you can use, if you have a little Tim Holtz swivel clasp, you can hook that on there, and then use the chain to add your beading, as many beads as you want. You can also use a ball and chain, and You could also use one of these doohickeys. I don't know what these are called, but you could use one of these. Just hook it right on there. And then you have a spot to dangle your beadwork. Okay, so let me get started. I'm going to start off with my, I can try to set this. Why does it look orange? It's so weird. My lighting is terrible in here. See if I could get some more light. Let there be light. Okay, I don't want to start this video again. So there's my little Tim Holtz binder clip and my beads. I'm going to need this. I'm going to need this. And I need a lanyard hook. So I'm going to hook that on there. And I'm going to need a couple of O-rings for my charms here. So I'm going to pull out two. The hardest part is going to be doing the beading. I usually pre-make them. This way when I'm doing projects like this, it's just easy to grab the little pre-made dangles like this one here. This may have even come off of a chain if you get like an inexpensive chain. And then you could cut them off like little pieces and have them ready. Okay, what am I doing? Oh, so let me add an O-ring to the crown. So you just hold it like that. And you don't want to spread them apart. You want to push down and toward you to open your ring. This way it closes up nice. So I'm going to hook that onto my crown. And then I'm going to fold this back up. And that one's on there. And the next one I'm going to do is this little oval, pretty purple bling bead. I'm hoping this O-ring fits in there. If not, I'll have to dig back in the box and look for a smaller. Yes, it fit. Thank goodness. And I'm going to close that up. And now the hard part. I want these two beads. I'm going to use this one. I don't know what this one is called. It's got the little hole in it. I think it's called an eye hook, but I'm not sure. Put it in through the first one. And that just makes it easy for you to connect your second bead with an O-ring. And then I'm going to bend this, and I'm like the worst one at making. This is a little bit too long, so I'm going to cut it. I'm not really good at making my little ring, but I try. Just watch a lot of tutorials and you'll get it. You bend it back. Well, I bend it back. And then I kind of put it in the center here, and that's that cone-shaped plier. That's going to help you with making your little ring. And I stink at this. And there's my ring. It's not the best. And plus I'm on camera, so it's even harder. So there's my ring. Cynthia's really good at this. She does it so easily. So I'm going to hook another bead on here. I should really use a flat so you can't see this part at the bottom. Let's get a flat. Let's see if I can get a flat real quick. A flat head one. The thing is that these are so long because I ran out of my shorter ones. So I haven't been using them. And let's see if it doesn't fall through, which if it does, then you want to use a smaller. See how it fell through? You want another bead so it doesn't fall through. So let's pick another smaller purple bead. Hook it on there. That's not going to fall through. And then I'm going to put the larger one and that's going to be like a stopper. It won't let it fall through. So again, I have to create my little ring, which I stink at. Yeah, I watched Cynthia make, like, I just kept rewinding her video and watching her do it because she does it so easily. I'm like, why can't I do it? It's making me crazy. So there, I'm just adding another ring so that I have something to connect my little O-ring to, and it just refuses to close. There we go. So there's my little ring there, whatever you call these things, and I'm just going to connect these two together. So I'm going to need another O-ring. Of course, this one's too big, but I can use it for this one. So I'm going to hook it on there, and then I have to go back into my box and get a smaller O-ring so I can connect these two together. Let's look for a smaller one that will fit. I hope I can find a smaller one that can fit, because I don't want to restart this video if it doesn't work. So let's do one of these little ones. Ooh, that's really tiny. I better get my glasses on. I better get my glasses on. Eyes are failing me. Oh my gosh, I hope you can't hear my stomach. I just had lunch a little while ago and I'm digesting. So there we go. I'm going to hook that one onto my larger one. We're almost done, guys. Now these just get hooked onto the garment pin and we're good to go. So here we have a charm, my bead, and then my little dangle here that I created really quick. And we're just going to connect these onto the garment pin. So let's do crown and the little dangly first, and then I'm going to get a separate O-ring for the other piece. So we got that going on. You could actually put them all on there, but I want to put this one. I'm just going to use the O-ring that's on here already. Hook it on here. You could also hook it onto the clip up here, or you could hook it here. Just play around. You could also add a piece of chain. See if I can get it up on the top one. You can add a piece of chain, and this way you can add more beads to it, or you can add the Tim Holtz swivel clasp because it has a chain on it. So that's what it's looking like so far, Melissa, and everyone else who's watching. And now I'm just going to add a little piece of seam binding. Which I had to run out of the room and get a pair of scissors because I was unprepared. So I'm just going to cut. I have this cute really pale lavender seam binding, and I'm just gonna, what did I do with the other one? Did I put it through the ring? Oh, I put it through the garment pin, and just tie it into a knot. Tie it into a knot, and then let's make this a bit shorter because that's a lot of seam binding. And that's how I made it, Melissa. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, post them down below, and I'll try to find the videos that I watched. You guys, you know, there's like a gazillion videos on bead making, bead work, and stuff like that. So this turned out really cute, and my favorite colors, purple. There you go. Now it's ready to hook onto whatever you want. Whatever project you want. Thanks for watching, everyone. Post a comment if you wish, and subscribe. Have a fabulous day. Bye.